This is the most important indicator that you've probably never heard about. Let's get started with this indicator, but first AMD, the trade from last week, remember it was at the high of the Kettler channel. We did some credit debit spread, 175, 180, something like that. Now it's 136 and dropping. Use Kettler channel. I'm gonna go over Coinbase. I've talked about them a few days ago. Tesla, okay, and MicroStrategy. Those three stocks were at the top of Kettler channel on my settings that are 8 times the default. Not 8 times the default, like 8 and 50. I'm gonna show you. Let's just get started. Let me show you Coinbase, okay? And don't get me wrong, I love Coinbase. It gives me MicroStrategy. Let's start with MicroStrategy. Look where we are with MicroStrategy. Absolutely insane. Let me show you something. Here, I update. This is the daily chart. I use the daily chart to be more accurate. I don't use the 5 minutes. I don't use 15 minutes. I don't use none of that. And I don't use RSI. I don't use MACD. All I do is sell 8 times the ATR. Okay? Naked puts, like 80 or 90% of my trades. Naked puts 8 times the ATR, which is this indicator. But today I want to focus on the Kettler channel and look at my settings. Let me show you my settings. So if you have right here, you add to Tasty Trade Kettler channels right here, and you see here length I changed to 50. It was probably 20 or something on day 1, and factor I changed to 8. It was again like 2, I don't know, something like that. Those are the settings that I have found that is best for me for the daily trade. For my own strategy, could be different for you. What I've seen for stocks, it's rare. It's like once a year that a regular stock passes the 8 times Kettler channel to the upside or the downside. If it's downside, depends. I saw Nike and StarBucks about 6 months ago. Nike was around 60 something, 65 bucks, and Starbucks was around the same, 70 or something like that. They were both in the green line. You know what? In this video, I'm actually gonna show you those. And that was a time to either just go long, buy 100 shares, 1,000 shares, whatever that you want, instead of just selling naked puts at the bottom of the range. So that's something to consider. But now on MSTR, on Coinbase, on Tesla, as I mentioned 3 days ago on my videos, go check my channel. 8 times the Kettler channel has been breached. See here, the green here. Just if it even gets there, it's insane how overvalued a stock is if it gets to the 8 times the Kettler channel. MicroStrategy passed that, of course. Bitcoin at 90,000. What can you expect? Okay. And now it's still a little down under the Kettler channel, which is around 350. Okay, that's where the Kettler channel, top of the top of the top, 8, the changing from 2 to 8, so 4 times extreme, and 50 instead of 20, another 2.5 times extreme. Something like that. Usually, where a stock is traded, most of the time, is the blue line, okay, which is, you see, the whole year, blue line, blue line, blue line, and then it popped all the way to the top of the 8 times Kettler channel. Let's see, it happens, you see here, the date is February, so a year ago when Bitcoin was around, I don't know, 20,000 or something, 30,000, a year ago it was 30,000, no one talked about, it was right here, jump all the way. And it changes. Keep in mind, the green, blue, and red are not the same. It changes every day. This is a daily chart with movement. So you see here, it went from right here. MSTR was around 60 bucks. Went up above the red line, probably when Bitcoin started its move, to around 150. Okay, and then it jumped to 180. And then below the Kettler channel, and then a little up, back to the 200 above the Kettler channel, and it couldn't hold 8 times the Kettler channel. It reversed back to the mean all the way to the blue line right here to 130. From 200 right here, March 27, look at the bottom, around here, March 27, 28 was the second time that it tried to touch the 8 times Kettler channel around 180, and then it drops to about 130 April 15. Let's call it in 3 weeks it dropped 30%. I assume Bitcoin did the same. I don't know. I don't remember what happened a year ago, but that's just the reality. Okay, so 8 times the Kettler channel is a sign to me to either not touch, not trade, or I'm not gonna sell naked calls. Those are like extreme crazy. It could be profitable. The premium is higher on the call side, as you saw my AMD trade from a few days ago, but selling naked call is just too much. However, selling a credit spread, a call credit spread on the top side is something to consider when you see a situation like this. So maybe you could consider, I don't know, 390, 400 call credit spread for like a month. I don't know, I haven't looked. There's other trades. So that's one option, to pay attention to the Kettler channel. Let me show you Coinbase. Same thing, and I love Coinbase. I have the stock, but again, this is insanity. This is the 8 times Kettler channel. It went from the blue line right here around 180, 190, pop, in a few days it reaches the top of the, it's not even the top of the Kettler channel, the default. Again, it's the top of the Kettler channel 4 times the default. 4 times the default, which is absolutely crazy. We are here at 320, as I've done a video a few days ago, and you saw here and now we're down to 286, below the 8 times the Kettler channel. Okay, so let's check this one as well. And you see here again that a stock needs to trade around the blue line, the whole year, with some kind of movements up or down. If it goes below the green line, it's a buy, like forever buy. No puts, no nothing, just forever buy. If it goes below 8 times the Kettler channel on the green side, on a stock that I want to own, not like super microconductor, I don't know the story there with that's my point. Okay, so we got here, let me show you again, just like last year, February 13, just like MicroStrategy, it was 140, went up all the way. You see here, it touches the Kettler channel at 250, 260. Now the Kettler channel was 290. It expands with the trades. It doesn't stay stagnant every day. It expands and dispands. And you get my point. So it went here. It tried to break it. It didn't. Tried to back the Kettler channel. Didn't. And then went from 290 to 220. Let's see how many days was this. March 25. To about April 15. Again, same 3 weeks. It went from, let's call it 300 to 220. I don't know. Also 30% drop in like 3 weeks. So you can take advantage of this. You can also buy just a regular put. If you see this could be a chance to just buy a regular put. Something to consider, depends on your risk management. But that's like a trade idea to give you context. And then it traded sideways for like months. Then under around the blue line, which is normal, went down under the blue line, went back to the blue line, sideways a little bit above the blue line, elections, and then it went from the blue line in 10 days to 8 times the Kettler channel. This is not normal, and it started to correct itself. It should correct eventually back to the blue line, which is at 200 today. It could be a little less, could be a little more tomorrow. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Let me show you Tesla. Let me show you Tesla right here. Okay, same story. I don't use RSI, MACD, none of that. I use Kettler channel. Same story with Tesla. It was on here on the blue line, jump all the way to 8 times the Kettler channel in like a week or 10 days to around 350, and now it's below the 8 times the Kettler channel. If you saw a pattern, it will probably try to touch again the 8 times the Kettler channel, and eventually everything is reversing back to the mean. It's all math, it's all numbers. Can it go above it and stay above it, and then the Kettler channel will adjust? Sure, but in reality, it's not 100%, but statistically, okay, that's the word that I'm looking for. Statistically, a stock needs to go back to the blue line, which is the mean reversal from where it is. This is 8 times the settings on the Kettler channel, 4 times the default, and they already broke it. It went below, and it should go back to around 250, where the blue line, and stay there and do nothing. If it goes back to around 250, then it will be a good time for me to start selling naked puts. Basically simple. But if it's here, again, you have an option: either sell a call credit spread, I don't know, maybe 400 or 390, you sell a call, and 400 you buy the call, the credit call spread, something like that. Or just buy it like 350, buy puts. It's expensive, it is. Tesla puts are probably expensive, but just a move back to around 250, 260, theoretically. That's what the numbers are telling you. And if you see this again, we saw this a couple of months ago again. Tesla doesn't do anything. It's on the blue line, which is normal, which you also see here, the squeeze. The squeeze actually about to fire all these red points, indicator that it's about to squeeze. And then it did from right here, June 24, something like that, all the way here to July 10. So like 2-3 weeks of squeeze. It went from 180 to 8 times the Kettler channel to 260, 30% move, and then it's all the way up 8 times the Kettler channel. It couldn't break because it's 8 times the Kettler. It's insane. It's 4 times the default. The default is 2, and eventually it loses steam and went all the way back to around 200, which is where the blue line sits as of now. So the blue line goes up when the stock goes up, okay? It doesn't stay stagnant, so something to understand. And then it did nothing for a couple of months, then election, went back to the 8 times Kettler channel, and eventually should go back to 250, 260. At that point, I will be happy to start selling naked puts and all that, even though I did a trade about Jay Lizard on Coinbase and Tesla and all that stuff. But stuff to understand: if it reaches the 8 times Kettler channel, maybe just buy some puts. Okay, it's something to consider. Depends on the price, depends on implied volatility. You see here, implied volatility was expensive, which was 100, so buying a put was probably super expensive. Now it's 60, maybe below 50. It's a good idea to just buy puts to 50 to 60 for like a month or two and just wait there. Now let me go over a little bit. I want to show you Nike and StarBucks, where it was. You see here, that's the example that I want to talk to you. We were here, this was earnings like 6 months ago, where Nike, right here, it was the blue line, did nothing for the whole year, then it was a bad earnings or something, and it went dropped like 20% to around 75, where we are now. Okay, it was at 90, 95, went to 75, like 20%. I remember that day. They dropped like almost 20% post earnings, and they went down below the green line. They went below the green line, and this is the time. This is Nike, for example, is my forever stock on the list. So in here, I would not just sell naked puts to collect income. I would actually just buy the stock, and that's it, and just hold it forever. And it went back to the blue line, okay, which was 80. The blue line went down and did nothing, and then there was another earnings, and now it's back at 76, but the green line is now at 66, 67. So you can either wait for this if you want to hold Nike forever, or just say to yourself, okay, this was the chance 6 months ago, and now we're under the blue line. It's good enough for me. If you want to hold Nike, or sell naked puts, either 8 ATR or around here 67. We actually did a trade on the Excel that I started talking about a few days ago. Just today, like an hour ago, I put a trade idea on Nike. If you're not a member, you can sign up, link below. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Pretty simple. Let me show you StarBucks before we wrap this up. Same thing. Starbucks is all green. Interesting. I didn't pay attention to this today. I didn't take a trade on Starbucks, just the Nike. But Starbucks is about to squeeze according to this, up or down. We don't know. That's the problem with the squeeze indicator, TTM squeeze, which is, this is like a version of that. So it's about to fire. And again, it's not 100% sure, and we don't know if it's going to fire up or down. But Starbucks is about to make a move, probably post earnings. So this something is interesting. And you see, Starbucks is trading all the way here. And again, this was earnings before they changed to a new CEO. It was all blue, all trading in the blue. This is normal when the stock trade a little above or a little below the blue line of 8 times the Kettler channel. This is the norm. And then there were earnings around $90, and post earnings they went to like 74, 75. And when it went to around 72, below the green line, 8 times the Kettler channel, they went below it. I want to buy Starbucks and hold forever. This is perfect time. Nothing is perfect. It can go to zero. Ideal time in that moment in time to just go long Starbucks. You can do slips. It's up to you. But there are many versions instead of just. All I'm saying is don't just sell naked puts. You need to have a lot more tools in your disposal. So when it went here to the green line around 74, yeah, that's it. And then a couple of weeks later it corrected. It will reverse back to the mean, to the blue line, which was around 82, traded a little above it, a little below it, and then they came up with the news of the CEO. It went from 75 in the same day to 8 times. You see here, 8 times the Kettler channel jump. I respected the 8 times Kettler channel at 95. Couldn't break. And then I just reversed back to the mean, which is now 95 because the blue line went up. So now the blue line is 95 and the green line is 80. See here, the green line is 80. And the red line is now the 8 time Kettler channel is around 111, 112. So it does move and correct. And we have a move with Starbucks, and the IVR is 39. I might take a trade. When is the earnings? Is very important. Let me see. When's earnings? Dividend? It doesn't say, so I assume it's probably around December, just like Nike. Okay, interesting. Good to know. Yeah, just something to consider when you look at stuff. Consider the Kettler channel as well. Don't just think RSI and all that stuff that YouTube is pumping you because it's popular. I don't see videos about Kettler channel. 8 times the Kettler channel, 8 times the ATR. This is my strategy. It's simple, it's efficient, it's working for me. You can sign up and get some trade ideas about options every day. Today there were 2, yesterday there were 4. Day before that I posted 5 on my YouTube on the last video. Yeah, let's grow this channel. I'll see you next time.